Hello and welcome everyone. Today we'll talk about ego. We'll talk about what is ego, my experiences with ego, and what I do to suppress my ego, and what is the ideal approach to control one's ego. So to begin with, I think ego is a emotional reaction of a person without knowing the things, without understanding the or without anticipating the possible consequences. It's a I think it's a inherent character of no, it's not a character. It's a inherent. It's inherited in every individual. It's only depends on the things that ignites their reaction. So my experience, well, I often hurt when my ego often hurt when I come across with a person who tries to explain me certain things where I'm in the things where I'm in expertise. For example, if I know something better, I believe something in something I'm better at something I'm better. And if I'm discussing with a person and he tries to explain to me like in a way that I don't know, I'm not informed about it, and at the same time I know it better. So just because I don't want to look dumb, I would take a defensive step. I would uh, jump before even he starts to uh, go to the conversation. I would explain all the things because I don't like to look dumb. And yeah, I stop it there. So what is the loss here? Well, yeah. First of course, I don't know anything, right? I don't know everything. So secondly, who knows? He might have something more than what I know. He might have something important or essential information that might be of my use. But just because I took the defensive step, I put my ideas into the table without listening to him. Yeah, and because just because it hurt my ego, right? I want to prove him that I'm better at, and I'm better informed. This is the first place where my ego often get hurt. And second, uh it's about it's the most, more common with me. Whenever someone tries to make fun of me, like if I'm in a group, and if I I does some mistakes, then they would laugh at me. And yeah, and if I did some mistake in the past, and that person points out and make fun of me in front of the my in front of my friends, and yeah, it often hurts my ego. And what happens is that I as soon as it hurts my ego, I become predator. I start to seek the opportunity to make him to make fun of him, to make him feel what it feels to uh, like I want to make him feel what I have felt, right? So I would see for opportunity, I'll make fun of him even if it wasn't intentional. See, my my motto developed it was developed by my feelings. It wasn't with my cognitive intelligence. It was a complete reaction of my emotion, because he hurt my ego, right? So I'll wait for the opportunity. And yeah, I suppose I successfully take the revenge. And it's important to mention that you don't get any satisfaction from revenge, because at first you don't know his intention, and second, uh, you know that you have the intention, and if that the retaliation is often harder than uh, what they have done to you, right? So when you come to know that the thing was not intentional, then you end up in resentment. You feel bad for the person. You make the situation worse, and you you feel disgusted upon yourself for reacting in such a way. And yeah, and in the other consequence, the first consequences is that person might end up feeling guilty, feel sorry, which will of course affect you too, because you don't have intention. And if it hurts the ego of that person, then he will again, he will also wait. He will also seek for retaliation. And what happens is that you both, are the same thing happens to each other. He will retaliate to you, and again you retaliate to him, and all this drama, it deteriorates your friendship or the intimate relationship with that particular person. And fundamentally you lose a friend, and what do? You get nothing. You are just defeated by your ego. So uh, it's also, I think, the major reason uh, for any catastrophe, any catastrophe that involves a relationship with other person, have this factor of ego. You always, in I mean, like, without explicitly, you battle with ego with that particular person. You don't want to, you don't want to, uh, you don't want to make that person uh, talk better than you don't want him to do certain things better than you don't want them to show you that they are outperforming all these things. You don't want to uh, talk you don't want them to talk smarter than you, all these things. And if you both have the same mentality, then it often ends up in catastrophe. So I think the most successful people who are sitting in very high level, they have this ability to suppress their ego. if they have if they have made progress uh, from the grassroots level to the top level, it means they have experiences this humiliation in every step. They don't put their ego before before uh, their humiliation. As I have said in my previous video, that humiliation is the important factor for a person to progress. Because if you don't assume yourself, if you assume yourself that a person who knows more than any other person, that means you are in delusion. We know this world is so vast, the information is so much, so abundant, that we have very less time to accumulate or absorb all these things. And if you bear that ego within yourself, then of course you're not going to make any progress. You have to face that humiliation. You have to put that ego behind your back. And it's also worth mentioning that people who fall back after after having this sudden, let's say sudden success or this quick success, and they developed this ego, you know. I have this and that and those things, and doing other things would make them look bad. It's not for me, it's for the lower class people. Let's say it's like they become so self-centered, and then they don't care about anything. They care about only themselves. They constantly think about themselves, that I am this, I should be treated this way, I am the boss. So all this, you know, and whatever. um, I mean, they cannot face, I mean, slight humiliation, and they cannot see other person succeeding them. They are, they I mean, fundamentally, mm, they fall back to the grass. Yeah. um, it's it's fundamental. Yeah, it's important to to tame your ego. However, it's also important that there are people who really try to make you look bad, to make you look dumb, and you should able to segregate this thing, as there are people who try to take advantage of you, and if you don't retaliate with uh, to the things, then it's possible that they will take your advantage. They may bring you down. So you have to develop, I mean, you have to develop this, you have to learn to know if the thing that is, if the person is doing something to you is intentional or unintentional. Because if it's intentional, then you shouldn't back up, you should take revenge. I'm not those one of people who says, oh, let them do whatever they want, you just do your work. No, it's not like that. If they have something bad intention, I mean, they have something going on in their mind uh, to obstruct your progress, to to uh, to take advantage of you, then you should react, you must react. And lastly, I think, lastly, when you have a intimate relationship with anyone, and if something happens that hurt your ego, instead of just reacting, take a step back, create yourself a space and think about it. uh, and if you cannot conclude it, then just confront the person. If the particular thing was intentional or unintentional, if it was, even if whatever it was, you must tell him that you have done this to me and I really feel bad about it. If it was intentional, then you can take the revenge, like I said. And if it wasn't, then you should tell him that uh, this thing, I cannot digest this thing, and it would be better if you not do uh, it again, because it triggers me. And you don't have to, you don't just, it's not a warning, it's just telling them to understand you. Yeah. And if he understands, then he will not do the same mistake. And if he doesn't, he will. So your time starts, then you take the revenge. You don't want to, you don't want to be friend with that person. I wouldn't recommend to be a friend with that person. Stay away. And first of all, okay, have revenge, and make them feel that you are not one of those who could easily be easily can be suppressed. That's what I believe. It's all my thoughts. I'm not uh, saying or telling, or I'm not just copying what other have told me. I'm just presenting my view. So yeah, thank you.